Welcome to A Century of Cinema. Today I will be exploring my favourite films of 1985. The Sure Thing, directed by Rob Reiner, stars John Cusack as Walter Gibson, a fun-loving, wisecracking young man who, when he goes to college, meets the very straight-laced Allison, played by Daphne Zuniga. Cue the classic rom-com antagonism. Gibbs' friend Lance, Anthony Edwards, convinces Gibb to come to California where he has set up a so-called sure thing for Gibb, i.e. a woman guaranteed to have sex with him. He gets a lift with an insufferably wholesome couple, Tim Robbins and Lisa Jane Persky, and Allison is also there, heading to see her boring fiancé Jason. Their bickering soon gets them left on the side of the road with no ride and very little money, trying anything to get to California. They soon start to fall for each other, until the reason for Gibbs' journey becomes known. But in true rom-com style, they work it out. The Sure Thing is, on its face, a standard romantic comedy, but the taut and stylish direction from Reiner, the charm and chemistry of Cusack and Zuniga, and the snappy script by Stephen L. Bloom and Jonathan Roberts also wrote The Lion King, it is elevated to one of my favourites of the genre, taking elements of the father of rom-coms, It Happened One Night, and updating them for a 1980s teen audience incredibly successfully. It has a kick-ass soundtrack, it's cool, it's funny, it's warm, it has a lovable cast. Basically, it's a sure thing. Woody Allen's The Purple Rose of Cairo stars Mia Farrow as Cecilia, a poor, abused housewife during the Depression, who finds solace in the movies. As her situation worsens, due to getting fired and being smacked around by her husband Monk, Danny Aiello, she retreats more and more into the cinema, watching the film The Purple Rose of Cairo over and over again. It is then that one of the characters, Tom Baxter, played by Jeff Daniels, steps out of the screen to meet her. They fall for each other as the cinema owner and film producers try to handle the situation, and most hilariously, the characters on screen. Soon, Gil Shepard, the actor who plays Tom, arrives and also romances Celia. For me, this is the best of the Woody Allen-Mia Farrow collaborations. It is one of Woody's most inventive screenplays and some of his best work as director, and this is easily my favourite Mia Farrow performance. Probably because she is not only excellent in the role, showing a warmth and subtle vulnerability beyond anything else she has done, but she is the most likeable she has ever been in anything. Best Actress, Screenplay, Director and Picture could have easily gone to The Purple Rose of Cairo in many other years, possibly even Best Actor, because Jeff Daniels is also excellent, deftly differentiating the characters of Tom and Gil, making Tom kind of real and Gil kind of fake. And special mention must be made of the characters of the movie within the movie, featuring the likes of Edward Herrmann and John Wood. They provide a lot of the laughs with their incredulity and upper-class outrage. Plus, there is also a lovely scene where Tom chats with some prostitutes, who include Diane Wiest and Glenn Headley. One of Woody Allen's best, The Purple Rose of Cairo is easily one of my favourite films of 1985.
I'm married. I just met a wonderful new man. He's fictional, but you can't have everything.
Fletch, based on the novel by Gregory MacDonald, stars Chevy Chase as Irwin M. Fletcher, Fletch, an investigative reporter who, while working on a beach drug dealing expose, is approached by millionaire Alan Stanwyck, Tim Matheson, to murder him for $50,000. Fletch agrees, but looks into it, finding links with the despicable chief of police, played by Joe Don Baker, and gets involved with Alan's wife Gail, Dana Wheeler Nicholson, all while giving everyone hilariously ridiculous aliases like Ted Nugent and Gordon Liddy, sometimes with silly modifications to his appearance. Even though it is apparent and likely that Chase ad-libbed quite a bit, it is still a great adaptation by Andrew Bergman of MacDonald's first novel featuring the character of Fletch. Riddled with great dialogue which always keeps the mystery unravelling, a mystery which logically tracks but is not too easy to entirely figure out. There are some moments of real jeopardy and tension, well handled by director Michael Ritchie, easily his best work for me, and it creates a rich world for Fletch to move around in, with some fascinating supporting characters such as his colleague Larry, a fun, quick turn from Gina Davis, his long-suffering boss Frank, Richard Libertini, George Wendt as drug dealer Fat Sam, and some enjoyable little roles for M. Emmett Walsh and Kenneth Mars. I think Fletch is the funniest movie of 1985, due to one of Chevy Chase's best comedic turns and an excellent screenplay from Bergman. My choice for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Where am I?
You're in the records room.
The records room? Oh, I'm fine.
Can I get you something?
Yeah, do you have the Beatles' White Album? Never mind, just get me a glass of hot fat. And bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia while you're out there.
Mask, directed by Peter Bogdanovich, is the true story of Rocky Dennis, Eric Stoltz, who has a rare genetic disorder referred to as Leonidas due to the facial deformities caused by it. The heart of the film is his relationship with his mother Rusty, Cher, in what I consider her greatest performance. Rocky and Rusty hang out with a group of rowdy but good-hearted bikers, most notably Sam Elliott as Rusty's sometime boyfriend Gar, who is the closest thing to a father figure for Rocky, and a beautiful performance by Dennis Berkeley as the simple, mostly silent Dozer. The scene where Dozer struggles to tell Rocky he is proud of him is one of the most beautiful moments ever put to film. Rocky also becomes a counselor at a camp for the blind and meets a young blind woman named Diana. Some genuinely great early work from Laura Dern, and they fall in love. Mask is beautifully directed by Bogdanovich, easily his best dramatic film. He made a comedy in the 90s that I may like even more, but we'll probably get to that then. It has a warm, witty and heartbreaking screenplay by Anna Hamilton Phelan, close to her best. Again, there's one in the 90s that I freaking love, we'll definitely get to that one. And some lovely cinematography by the prolific and versatile Laszlo Kovacs. But this is a film that shines brightest due to its performances. As well as Berkeley and Dern, we also have Sam Elliott at his absolute best, perfectly cast as the strong yet sensitive Gar. However, Mask belongs to its leads, Eric Stoltz and Cher. Both give the performance of their respective careers here. Stoltz, who was originally cast as the lead in the next movie on this list, does an amazing job conveying all the incredible pain Rocky feels, emotional and physical, as well as his strength and positivity. And he does it through Zoltan Erlach and Michael Westmore's brilliant Oscar-winning makeup, which would clearly be a major impediment to his ability to emote. And Cher is nothing short of spectacular as Rusty. Sympathetic and sometimes infuriating, fiercely protective and proud of her son, but also drug-addicted and recklessly promiscuous. It is an authentic portrayal of a complex, brave, and painfully real woman. Both performances were criminally underappreciated by most major awards, although Cher did win Best Actress at Cannes, where Mask also picked up the Palme d'Or for Bogdanovich. But for me, guaranteed to make you cry like a baby, Cher and Eric Stoltz are my Best Actress and Best Actor of 1985.
And she's beautiful, and she's smart, and she loves me.
Well, what's not to love, baby?
Finally, Back to the Future, directed by Robert Zemeckis and written by Zemeckis and Bob Gale. When I got to 1985, it was obvious what my best picture would be. This iconic, ironically timeless movie is basically perfect. If you've never seen it, and you'll have to explain to me how and why that's even possible, it concerns teenager Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, who assists Christopher Lloyd's Doc Emmett Brown, who has made a time machine out of a DeLorean. The DeLorean now. After Doc is killed by the Libyan terrorists from whom he stole the plutonium that powers the time machine, Marty escapes in it, accidentally finding himself 30 years in the past, 1955, where he inadvertently stops his parents from meeting and must find a way to get them together, despite the fact that his mother Lorraine, Leah Thompson, now has a crush on Marty, and his father George, Crispin Glover, is just about the geekiest, most awkward guy ever. And he must do this while dealing with the school bully Biff Tannen, Thomas F. Wilson. Oh, and he also has to get the younger version of Doc Brown to help him get back to 1985. Apart from the brilliant technical spectacle of Back to the Future, it is also a movie full of incredible artistry. The music is amazing, with Alan Silvestri's absolute best score in an incredible career as composer, perfectly capturing the adventurous tone of the film, as well as the sci-fi content. And the soundtrack is one of my all-time favourites, featuring two great Huey Lewis songs, Back in Time and the Oscar-nominated Power of Love, robbed, by the way. There is some lush, vivid cinematography by Dean Cundey, authentic character-specific costumes by Deborah L. Scott, heavily detailed, beautiful, and pitch-perfect production design from Lawrence G. Paul, great editing, sound, winning an Oscar for sound effects editing, visual effects, basically everything. And it is perfectly cast. Fox was the original choice for Marty, but he was originally unavailable, so they shot with Eric Stoltz for a while, but it wasn't working. So they made it happen for Mike. And it is the perfect role for him. His natural charm and timing make Marty an easy protagonist to get on board with. Lloyd as Doc Brown is also a role tailor-made for him. His manic humour and wild expressions make him the quintessential mad scientist with a heart of gold. Leah Thompson as Lorraine is adorable while being a little bit of a femme fatale at times, and it works amazingly well. And Crispin Glover as George damn near steals the movie simply because there is absolutely nobody like Crispin Glover, and he's never used more effectively than he is here. Finally, we get to the main reasons we are here. Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale. They crafted a screenplay which is a character-driven sci-fi adventure movie which pays off every single setup, gives us people to root for, some genuinely harrowing moments of suspense which hold up even when you've seen it 100 times, and some awesome, very funny dialogue from start to finish.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Then you have Zemeckis' direction, which takes it to yet another level, harnessing every element and channeling them into what is one of my favourite movies of all time. So, Back to the Future is my choice for Best Screenplay, Best Director, and Best Picture of 1985. Join me next time on A Century of Cinema when I'll be discussing my favourite films of 1986.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?